This is Grandpa and the Bear.
Grandpa and Grandma lived down by the outlet, a little ways above the outlet, where a creek came along. But they were Swiss, and this creek came from an aspen grove, so they called it Aspen. There was a bridge over the creek, and one morning when Grandpa got dressed and went out over the Aspen Bridge, over to the creek, over the creek and over to the Krell, he saw something that, really upset him. Made him feel so bad because some big animal had reached through the Krell fence and pulled a lamb out and killed it, had eaten part of it, and he saw the tracks. Then he went back to the cabin and told Grandma the whole story, and he said, I'll have to go to Paris today and to get some guns and some bullets, get some men to help me. So that night, after the chores were done, Grandpa and the men climbed up a ladder that was nailed on the side of the flat-roofed log stable. On top of this stable, they had some hay pitched up. This is the way the pioneers would keep the hay from the animals eating it. They didn't always have wire fences to keep the animals out, so they'd put the hay up on top of the stable. Well, they sat on top of the hay and waited after dark. And one of the men was supposed to watch carefully. So after a while, they thought they saw something moving up along the Ashpa. This is where the tracks had come and gone from the night before. And they waited. Grandpa said, don't shoot till he gets real close. So when they got real close, when the animal got real close, Grandpa said, shoot him. So they aimed and went, bang! He said, now wait, see what happens. So they waited a minute or two. Then Grandpa said, I'll go down and see. So he started going one step, one more step, one more. Finally, as his foot touched the ground, that old bear let out a terrible "Hoo!" Very loud. Oh, poor Grandpa climbed up that ladder as fast as he could. And he said, shoot him again. So they shot the bear again. And Grandpa said, now I'll go down and get the lantern. So he went down the ladder and he went across the Ashpa and over to the cabin. And when he got inside the cabin, why, he saw Aunt Sophie sitting on the rocker and rubbing her head. Oh. Grandpa said, how did you hurt you? And she said, well, I heard a bang. And I quick opened the window to see, and then I heard that awful howl, and I banged my head as I jerked it in. So Grandma helped Grandpa light the lantern, and everybody went out to see the bear. And it was a big one. And something else happened when the bear let out this terrible howl. The cows broke out of the kraal, And they were all out in the field, and the calves were out there too, and if they left the cows out where the calves were, there wouldn't be any milk in the morning. So one of the men said, "Oh my, we will have to mend the fence tonight." Grandpa said, "Oh no, we won't have to mend the fence. Come and help me bring a horse over here and get a good strong rope." So they got a horse, and I think they put a saddle on him and tied a rope to it. This rope, and the other end they tied around the big old bear. And they had a hard time to get that horse over their clothes because horses don't like the smell of bear, but they got two men to lead him along, and he was very shy, but finally they got the bear fastened onto the rope and the horse, and the horse pulled him around to the hole in the fence. Then they put the cows back in the corral, and the next morning when they went out, every cow was still in the corral, but they were as far away from that bear as they could possibly get. And the next day, the boys, Grandpa and his brothers, they took a running gears with a flatbed on, and they got the bear onto this flatbed, and they loaded it on this way, and then they hauled it up to Grandpa and Grandma Coons so they could see it. And when they skinned the bear, Grandpa had a rug made out of the bear skin, and I remember seeing the skin on his front room floor, this bearskin rug. And then Grandma cut the fat off the bear and rendered it, and she made soap, enough soap to last them for 2 years.